for joining us on The Skeptic Sidekick, where we delve into ancient societies, ghosts, the paranormal, UFOs, all looking at it from the perspective of the true believer and from the skeptic perspective. Joining me, my partner, my co-host, my sibling, Kimber Rodriguez. Myself, I am Richard Gregg. And again, let's look into being the skeptic sidekick.
Hello, how are we doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Anything exciting happened this week for you?
Well, last week, ladies and gentlemen, we did have a interesting congressional hearings with a whistleblower saying that yes, the government has actually had interactions, has taken recovered UFO materials, and may or may not have built our today's technology on said things. Now, of course, that kind of brings up the subject of how much do we know and how much are they actually going to allow us to meet with the gentleman from outer space and disprove all of the flat earthers that there is no such thing as space. We're trapped in in a nice little bubble. But tonight we got an interesting topic, don't we?
We do. But before we get into the topic, I do want to take a moment to give a shout out to the people in our Facebook group, the Skeptic Psychic, to our pod people, as you like to call them. And I want to thank you all for those who have voted in our polls to see which platform you prefer to watch episodes on, whether it be YouTube or in the group. So thank you to those who have voted on that. We really do appreciate you taking the time. And we are going to leave it up for a couple more weeks. So if anybody else would like to vote, we do want to make this the best experience for you all and be able to have it available in the most easy way for you. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah. Honestly, not science. Oh, technically science fiction, but not really science fiction topic related. One of the greatest comedy writers as well as a performer died today. Paul Rubens, better known to everybody as Pee Wee Herman. I first saw him do other roles, as you know, watching him play the desk clerk in Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, watching him play the maitre d' waiter in the Blues Brothers, and of course the vampire's sidekick in Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
The original movie.
the original movie.
Yes, that's definitely my favorite role of his. Unfortunately, though, back in the 80s, he did, get in trouble for some things. So some people might have a sour taste in their mouths when they hear the name.
Right.
But,
He did come back in the 2000s with the Pee Wee Show. I believe it was off Broadway, and then finally did make it to the heights of Broadway, where a friend of mine actually went to go see it. And the first thing before it even started, he walked out to the crowd and says, "Good morning, boys and girls." And the crowd turned around and said, "Good morning, Pee Wee." And that's how the show started.
interesting. Yes. And I also want to say that for those who are listening to a replay on either Apple Replay or Spotify or anything like that, I'm sorry, Apple Podcast or Spotify, make sure you rate and review us. And what kind of ratings do we like?
We like 5 stars. One, two, three, four, five.
We will take anything you give us, but we do prefer 5 stars.
And
Um,
tell us we don't suck. Or if you do think we suck, put it in a nice way. Give us all these wonderful, give us some constructive criticism, not some verbal attacks on us.
yes, we do read reviews on air. So, yeah, it's a good way to get a shout out. Or if you have a story you'd like to share, you can send it to us and we can read it on air. And why don't you tell everybody what we're talking about tonight?
Well, if you travel along the Nevada State Route 375, also known as the Extraterrestrial Highway, it's a little scenic and remote highway in the state of Nevada, United States of America. God bless America. It stretches about 98 miles of vast through wasteland and connects from the towns of Crystal Springs and Wormwood, passing through the small community of Rachel, Nevada. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to some tales of Bird Lake. Yeah, well, been very popular, and the little community of Rachel experiences increased temporary populations. Normally, it's less than 48 people that live there, mostly farmers, ranchers, and
Hmm, interesting.
curiosity seekers. Now, if you're interested in coming down and visiting with uh, the nice little people of Rachel, stop into the little A Lay In Cafe. This little cafe embraces the UFO, UAP visitors and tourists from around the globe. Here you can get the signature Alia Burger, served on the rare green bun. Photos of documents and unexplained flying machines cover the weird walls. Across the street is a mailbox, and next to that is a small box. Oh, next to that small box is a lonely dirt road. There, a sign posted stating that this is a government base. Trespassers beware, because the road that is constantly washed with white Broncos. The SUVs, mind you, boys and girls, not the illustrious
Interesting.
Super Bowl, nor those fine stallions that roam up north.
So we won't see John Elway there
No, John Elway has never been to Area 51. Sorry.
that we know of.
hmm Now, those who have actually been caught crossing the line are reported to be questioned, threatened, and escorted out of the area. Again, this lonely dirt road may well lead you to Groom Lake.
Now, the interesting thing is, Groom Lake is also known as Area 51. This is a highly secretive and remote military installation that is located in the southern Nevada desert, here in the Grand USA. It is situated within the Nevada Testing and Training
Interesting.
Range, also known as NTTR. The NTTR is a vast government controlled area used for various military activities, including weapons testing, training exercises, and classified research and development. Now, my question is, why do they call Area 51 Groom Lake? Is there a lake that's near there that's named Groom Lake, or how did that name come about?
It came from the fact that there is a dry lake bed situated in the middle of it. Now, to be honest, it's basically, we can go into it further. It is actually a testing site for various items. So, the
Okay.
reason why it's a dry lake bed.
Okay. It first came to public attention through investigative reporting by a journalist by the name of George Knapp. George is an award winning investigative reporter and journalist who is based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I almost said Los Angeles, Sorry, it's Las Vegas.
Right.
Um, and he also played a significant role in bringing the existence of Area 51 to the public's awareness. See, way back in 1989, the year you graduated high school,
Mm-hmm.
and the year I went into middle school, Knapp did air a series that was an investigative report, and this took place on Las Vegas. The loss has got me thrown off. Sorry. This was on a Las Vegas television station.
Well,
known as-
see, to clarify, Los is Angelinos. Las is the Vegas.
It's Las, not
Yes.
Las.
Yeah, exactly. Los is Angeline,
Yes.
and Las is Vegas.
Yes. Los is the male or masculine version of the verb or the word, whereas
Mhm.
las is the feminine.
Right.
Anyway, back on topic. Sorry, ADD rant. As I was saying, he did air a series of investigative reports on the Las Vegas television station KLAS TV, which was a CBS affiliate.
Which was
Sorry, words are hard
interesting to
tonight.
note. Which is interesting to note that that TV station was started by Howard Hughes.
Interesting, really.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, anyway, these reports revealed the existence of a highly classified, secretive, and classified military installation that was located in the Nevada desert. Again, this was called Area 51. The reports were based on interviews with former employees of the Area 51 and UFO enthusiasts. Yes, people who
Woohoo!
love UFOs. They claimed that the base was involved in advanced aircraft testing and research, also had alleged UFO activities there. One of the people he talked to in this subject, one of the people he talked to is the subject of next week's podcast, where we will be discussing Bob Lazar. So I don't want to give too much away from him because we will be talking about him next week.
Right. Now, as a highly secretive and classified military installation, Groom Lake, aka Area 51, has been the subject of numerous rumors, conspiracy theories over the years. Since the government does not publicly disclose the specific details of activities conducted at facilities, these rumors remain spectacular, speculative, and lack concrete evidence.
So just like any other rumor, you can't prove it. It's just hearsay.
Hmm. Now, because it is a dry lake bed, one of the most widely accepted activities at the Area 51 base is the testing and development of advanced and classified aircrafts, like the SR 71 Blackbird and the F 11, and the, uh, the Nighthawk were just kept secret while they're being tested there at Groom Lake. Area 51 has been associated with the testing of cutting edge technologies, including the stealth technologies, propulsion systems, and surveillance equipment.
Didn't they
Perhaps
also test the hover thing where it, like it just hovers there?
they have actually tested hovercrafts as well.
Thought so.
Now, perhaps the most famous and enduring rumor surrounding Groom Lake is that it houses a crashed UFO and extraterrestrial technology. Some conspiracy theories also claim that the scientific experiments are attempting at reverse engineering said UFOs. Now, it's also been uh, linked to black projects, which classified research and development initiatives that are hidden from public knowledge.
Now,
And some
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what are black projects supposed to be?
Black projects are off the book research and development. They may be some type of vehicle, they may be some type of sociological experiment, that sort of thing. Things that are not on the table at the when people come looking to see what's going on.
Hmm.
Now, there's also some type of again intelligence gathering. There's been some chemical biological experiments out there. It's just need to know basis that's been happening over there at Groom Lake,
Hmm. Interesting.
and we as American citizens don't need to know.
Makes sense.
Now, rumors also say that there may be secret tunnels, secret uh, trains, secret ways to get there to Area 51. But the most damn it, Janet, I have to say it. Janet is the best way that the rumors have stated that you can get to Area 51. Now
Yes.
you may ask yourself, who's Janet? What's Janet got to do with it?
She's from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Brad was in love with her.
Yes, so was Rocky.
And so was Frankenfurter.
Frankenfurter.
Everybody
No,
wanted Janet.
right. Janet, per se, is an acronym for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. It's also a call sign used for a fleet of unmarked aircraft operated by private contractors to provide transportation services for various U.S. government agencies, particular to say the personal commuting sensitive and classified military installations to and from. The most well-known use of Janet call sign is for flights that transfer employees to and from highly secretive areas. So Janet can go out to Groom Lake or SR1, or could go to some other secret military base that we don't know about.
Possibly the Pentagon, the White House. I mean, I
Hmm.
would think the sky would be the limit.
Right. Now they're run by companies such as EG&G Technical Services, which are now part of the Jacobs Emergency Engineering Group, and ACOM, which is under contract for the United States Air Force. Air Force again, ladies and gentlemen, bringing that up. They're typically unmarked Boeing 737s, which are often painted in a plain white with a red stripe. The exact purpose and destination of all Janet flights are classified, and the United States government has not possibly disclosed specific information about these operations. However, it is widely known that they transfer employees and contractors to and fro to such locations, such as the Groom Lake and other sensitive military installations.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Now, Area 51 is heavily guarded and it is restricted from public access. This facility is secured by warning signs and fencing, and the military personnel responsible for protecting these sites are authorized to use deadly force if necessary. So, yes, if you go out there and they tell you you need to move along and you say, I ain't going nowhere, I want in there, they can shoot you dead.
Yep.
No questions asked, no remorse. Yeah, it's that classified.
We ain't calling your mommy or daddy.
Now, Freedom Ridge and an adjacent location known as Whitesides were a popular viewing spots for those who wanted to observe Area 51 from a distance. These were popular back in the 80s and 90s, as they did offer vantage points. Sorry, my screensaver keeps popping up. They offered advantage points where the people could go and view, the base and kind of see its activities from afar. In the 80s and 90s, in fact, that's when a lot of these conspiracy theories that surrounded Area 51 gained interest and they began to grow exponentially. Enthusiasts for UFOs, concerned citizens afraid of what might be there, and
Damn.
activists did organize protests and they had demonstrations
Jeez.
near Area 51. And this was to call for the government to release declassified information about the activities. You know, the people wanted to know what's going on. Why are you hiding this stuff from us?
Why
We
don't you
deserve,
trespass? Oh no, I want you to see me.
yes, we deserve to know. And I'm sure people are very, very familiar with what happened a few years ago, where a group of YouTubers were supposed to go out um, to Area 51 and demand access. There were a few people that showed up, and from what I saw in video, you know, the officers or whatever that were guarding were very cordial, very nice, and told them, "We got nothing going on here. It's just there's a lot of airstrikes we're testing, and somebody could get hurt or killed. That's why we don't want anybody in." But a lot of people left empty-handed, didn't find out anything. So in my
Uh,
mind, I think it is pretty much airstrikes.
Although I think the fact that Rachel people got a little bit miffed and pissed that these people just started showing up, and a lot of the uh, I don't want to say, yes, I will say it. International idiots deciding, well, if we run fast enough, we can avoid the cop cars and do the natural run.
No, actually, I didn't see any of that. They said they were going to do it, but from what I saw, nobody did it.
No, no, no. I'm saying nobody did it, but you had a lot of the people there in Rachel, Nevada, were very much not happy with these people just showing up and camping up along the sides of the roads.
Well, yeah, that is true because you know there was like a large mass of people that came in, and I mean, you could say, "Hey, this is great for tourism." However, the people that were there were not very respectful of the area, so that's what had a lot of people perturbed.
Right?
Um,
You know, they tried to put on an impromptu concert, but the main headliner never showed up. And when called to question, they said, "Well, we thought it was a joke."
Really, see that part I didn't hear. I didn't know
Yeah.
about that. But I do want to point out also that in the 90s, Freedom Ridge did gain a lot of significance as it became a site where a lot of these protests and demonstrations did occur.
hmm
Um,
the
so,
protests and activities on Ridge, as well as the White Sands, brought the issue of public land access and military restrictions on that area. Legal battles ensued over whether the public should have access to these locations and whether the government actions violated constitutional rights. In response to the protesters and concerns about security, the U.S. government closed off public access to certain roads and vantage points around Area 51, including Freedom Ridge and White Sides. As of September 2021, public access to both sites remained restricted due to the base sensitive nature and national security concerns.
now on that, what I want to say is people are saying, oh, how dare you close down these roads? It's our constitutional right to travel this area and to have access. But look at it this way, this is private property. This is not a public park welcome for everybody who wants to come in. It is a private military base. Therefore, it is not your constitutional right to have access to it. Just like you wouldn't go to Bob's house down the road and walk on in because it's my right to be here. No, that's Bob's area. Just like this is the government's area. They have a right to keep out whoever they want, if that makes sense.
hmm And just also to make sense, now, if you do really, oh geez, oh please, I have got to see that face. Oh my, I've got to see what's going on in that face. The most well known and successful viewpoint where visitors can see a distant views and a beautiful uh Tipico Valley's site. you would actually have to go to a located right there in beautiful Rachel, Nevada. It's called the Area 51 Alien Center. This is a visitor center and gift shop situated atop the Nevada State Road 375, also known as the extraterrestrial highway. From the Alien Center parking lot, visitors can view the distant landscape, which includes Groom Lake, where the Area 51 is located, and also the Tikaboo Valley, which is a beautiful desert landscape teeming with wildlife and very beautiful foliage.
I doubt they have those. Like when you go to the Eiffel, not the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State Building, or you go to uh, what is that place in South Dakota with the president's brain?
Mount Rushmore.
Rushmore. Thank you. I wanted to say Mount St. Helens, but I was like, no, that's
No,
a volcano. But you know how
been
they
there,
have
done
those
that.
viewers? They have those viewers that magnify so you can see far off better. I doubt
Uh,
they have those.
More than likely they do, but they probably don't. They don't point towards the base. More likely they point to the beautiful, serene Tikaboo Valley, so you can check out the flora and the fauna. See if you can catch the roadrunner being chased by the wily coyote, who's pure genius.
Yes.
Now, we want to ask you, our viewers, do you believe the government is covering up something there in the Area 51? Do you think that we got some alien technology? Do you think this is just a government testing facility for our advanced aeronautics and other items? Or is it just a regular military base where they test planes and weapons? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think of it?
Yes. I think I would enjoy just going to Rachel, Nevada to check out the Tikaboo Valley. I think it would be a beautiful, beautiful area to just take in.
You don't want a alien burger on a green bun?
It depends on what makes the bun green.
That's their natural secret recipe. You have to ask.
Yes, one moment. Let me see if I can get this to work right quick. Where did my comments go? Ah, one sec.
Yeah.
Now we do have a couple of comments that they didn't realize that uh, the name Groom Lake uh, was also the pseudonym for Area 51.
Yes, I am not able to view the comments now. I was trying to make it bigger so I could, because we got a comment and I wanted to show it up on screen so we could talk about it.
Yes,
Are
I did.
you able to view that comment, or did you talk about it when I went out?
Uh, looks like uh, that Congress did say they definitely their Area 51 is being secret, but don't believe that it's regular. But maybe it's not as wild as the stories they say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. My stance. I'm not a big believer in the aliens. That's where my skepticity comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think it is a place for testing maybe government technology, as you pointed out. Maybe they want to keep that government technology a secret so that it doesn't get into the wrong hands, and get handed over to our public enemies. Or it
Mm-hmm.
could be, like they said, maybe, there is. They don't want anybody to get injured or hurt while they're having live testing. But I think it's
Right.
more of like they're trying to hide our government secrets for technology. I don't think personally that it's anything that is alien like. I know one of the things we didn't really get into is that they also think that there's not just alien stuff that they're researching, but also like some people say that there is what do you call it when like they're making hybrids from animals, hybrids from humans, that they're coming up with technology to make these superhumans. Again, I think that's a little far fetched,
Hmm.
but I'm sure they are doing some.
Right. I mean, I can understand possibly the research with Lockheed Martin and uh, Boeing, that sort of thing, testing out military flights, that sort of thing. I mean, a lot of the early test flights did actually happen in lake beds like Groom Lake, in the deserts around Arizona, California, and New Mexico, where they were
Mhm.
testing such things. So that's
Right.
always been my stance on the fact of Area 51, that it's just a military base that's working on the next generation.
I think so too. That's what I definitely think. But yeah, that's pretty much all that we have for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed our take on Groom Lake at Area 51. And next week, we will be talking about Bob Lazar. Why don't you give us a little brief preview of Bob Lazar and who he is, so that way, you know, it'll entice our viewers.
Bob Lazar is I would say, controversial figure. In 1989, he came out and basically was told a story of the fact of he was hired by a group to work on a project out at the Groom Lake beds of Area 51. Some
Interesting.
people say that he's a load of crud. Some people say that he is one of the first ever whistleblowers against what was going on in Area 51. Others say he's just a guy. But let you be the judge of that. We'll give you the facts that we know, as well as the theories that we have heard. So,
Yes, that'll be an exciting episode next week. So make sure you tune in. It'll be on Sunday at
Oh,
8:30
hi, Vivian.
Central,
Oh,
9:30. I'm
hold
sorry,
on.
1 second.
Babe.
1 sec. Sorry.
It's okay, we can.
Sorry. Mercy's provider's leaving and she just came in to say goodbye. I apologize for that interruption. But yes, it'll be next Sunday. Well, actually, it's this coming Sunday. And that'll be, just to double check the date,
the 6th.
the 6th. Thank you.
You're
That'll
welcome.
be August 6th at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. That's 7:30 Mountain and 6:30 Pacific. Is there anything else that we forgot to mention this week, or anything else you want to put out there before we end the show?
Uh, just want to also give another shout out to another person we lost last week, because nothing compares to her, Miss Sinead O'Connor.
Yes, that was a shocking one as well.
Hmm.
May she rest in peace, and hopefully she finally found peace and was able to get away from her demons.
Hmm.
But with that, again, we love all of you, and we wish you a good night and sweet dreams, everybody.
And unpleasant nightmares.
Good night.
Good night.